Hello students, Standard 6th, Chapter number 11, Algebra, in which in last session we learned about the equation. We know that equation is a condition on a variable, and it satisfies only for the particular value of the variable. An equation contains an equality sign between its two parts. So there must be an equality sign when there is an equation. And the two parts are, one is on the left side of the equality sign, the other one is at the right side of the equality sign. So the part which is on the left side is known as left hand side or LHS, and the other one which is on the right of the equality sign, it is known as right hand side or RHS. And the value on LHS and value on RHS must be equal, because it should be balanced. So value both sides must be equal. And in an equation there must be at least one variable. It can contain more than one variables also. Sometimes only in the LHS, sometimes only in the RHS, or sometimes on both sides the variable can exist. Now, as we saw that the equation is satisfied by only certain value of the variable that is used in it, and that value of that variable which satisfies the equation is known as the solution of the equation. So, because not for any value the equation will be satisfied. We saw yesterday also in the last video that for the specific value, for the certain value of the variable, the values on both sides LHS and RHS becoming equal, and that definite value, that particular value is called the solution of the given equation. For example, if we consider the equation 5x equals 15. Now, on LHS, 5x is there. Which value of x we can use such that when we multiply it with 5, the answer becomes 15. We know that 5 3s are 15. It means that if you put x is equal to 3, then only this equation is satisfied. If you put x is equal to 4, what will happen? 5 4s are 20, which is not equal to 15. If you put x is equal to 2, 5 2s are 10, which is not equal to the RHS. So, for different values, the LHS and RHS have different values, so it is not possible. So, only when you use x equals 3, the equation is satisfied. Means the values on the LHS and RHS becoming equal. 5 3s are also 15 and RHS is also 15. So we can say that x is equal to 3 is the solution of the equation. Similarly, take the equation y plus 9 equal to 17. So in which number you add 9, then it becomes 17. When you use y equals 8, 8 plus 9 is 17. So when you take y is equal to 8, equation is satisfied. Why? Because LHS is y plus 9. In place of y, if you put 8, it is 8 plus 9. That is 17. And your RHS is also 17. So LHS and RHS must have the same values. Then here you can see that by putting y is equal to 8, the equation is satisfied. It means that y equals 8 is the solution of the given equation. So now you have idea what is the solution of the equation. What is it? Let's repeat. The value of variable in the equation which is satisfied, which can satisfy the equation, that is known as the solution of the equation. So now what is the method? How can we find the solution of given equation? Generally we have to use in this standard, you have to use the trial and error method. Actually, this method is not direct method, and it is not even practical method, because we have to use different values and check whether it satisfies the equation or it does not satisfy the equation. And it takes long time also, and you do not get direct answer. You get error. You have to go trial. You have to take trials of different values, substitute the value, and then it must balance both sides. Means the LHS and RHS, when comes equal, that will be the solution. For very simple equations, we can use that method. This is trial and error method. But when there are some big equations, big digits are there, then this method is not practical. Because suppose some equation is such that its value, the solution is x is equal to 25. So here you have to start from 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer is not coming, then you are getting tired. But that methods, direct method, you will learn in higher standard. But I will give you a small idea at the last. When we finish the chapter, I will give you some idea so that in the next standard you will have some less difficulty in it. So first here we are using trial and error method only to find the solution. And as I told you, which is not a direct or a practical method. Why it is not practical? As I told you, that if the value of x is a big number, suppose it is 5 or 6, then you can try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if it is like x is equal to 5, 50 or 100, because in the future you will use some equations which have very high solutions. And in this situation, this error, the trial and error method is not a practical method. So let us understand this trial and error method. For that we have to create a table. For the variable, the value of the variable, and then it satisfies the condition or does not satisfy. So whenever it will satisfy the condition, that will be the solution of the given equation. So let us take an example 3n equals 15. Now, it is easier, but if you have to use the trial and error, what we have to do? We have to start with the value of x as 1 or n as 1. So if you take n is equal to 1, then what will be LHS? 3 ones are 3, which does not satisfy the equation, so it is not a solution. So now we have to check n is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So I made a table in which you said I take value of n, then the equation is 3n, so 3n, and then find the value, and if it is satisfying the condition yes or no. So here if I take n is equal to 1, 3 ones are 3. If you take n is equal to 2, 3 twos are 6. If I take n is equal to 3, 3 threes are 9, 3 fours are 12, 3 fives are 15, 3 six are 18. Here you can see that only when we put n is equal to 5, it gives the answer on the RHS, that is 15. It means that n is equal to 5 is the solution of the given equation. Now this is a very simple equation. So by trial and error method, we can easily find the solution because answer is only up to 5. So we have to check from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as I told you, if the number is bigger, then how much time it will take by this trial and error method. So that we will learn, as I told you in the last. So this is the trial and error method. Now let us start exercise 11.5. Here given that state which of the following are equations with variable. So some statements are given. We have to find out which statements are equation with variable and which are not. And if you have the equations with variable, then you have to find out which variable is used. And you have to give the reason also for the answer, that why it is or why it is not an equation. So let us start with the first one, A. First one is 17 is equal to x plus 7. So it is an equation as it have a variable x and equality sign between two sides. So we have to check two things. It must contain a variable and it must contain an equality sign between them. Second, t minus 7 is greater than 5. So it does not have equality sign. So it is not an equation. There is variable, but we need equality sign. What is here? It is an inequality sign. It is greater than. So it cannot represent an equation. C. 4 upon 2 equals 2. Here you can see that there is an equality sign, but it does not have any variable. It does not have any variable. So it is not an equation with variable. Because here we have to check only the equations with a variable. D. 7 multiplied by 3 minus 19 equals 8. It is also the same like above. Same as above. Here also you can see that there is an equality sign but does not have any variable. So it is not a variable with a, equation with a variable. Equation number E. 5 multiplied by 4 minus 8 equals 2x. So you can see that it is an equation. It is an equation as it has equality sign and a variable x. Equation number F. X minus 2 equals 0. Here also you can see that there is an variable there and there is an equality sign also. So it is an equation as it contains equality sign as well a variable x also. Now in equation G, twice m less than 30. It is not an equation as it does not have the equality sign. H. 2n plus 1 equals 11. It is an equation with variable n and equality sign. So now from I, J, K, L, M and O is very simple. So I am leaving it for you for the homework. So here we are going to finish the session. Will be followed by the PDF file. And if any confusion, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.